The city was a labyrinth of steel and shadows, where every street corner held secrets, and every alley whispered of untold fortunes. In this concrete jungle, a new legend was taking shape, one that would soon become the talk of the town. On a rain-soaked evening, the neon lights of the Skyline district flickered erratically, casting an eerie glow on the bustling streets below. High above, in a sleek penthouse overlooking the city's skyline, the mastermind of an audacious heist sat behind a polished oak desk. The room was dimly lit, with only the soft hum of the city and the distant sound of thunder breaking the silence. Jason Blackwood, a figure known in the underground world for his unparalleled skill and unyielding precision, reviewed the blueprints of his target, the illustrious Harmond estate. The estate, renowned for its impenetrable security and priceless collection of art and jewels, was the ultimate challenge for any seasoned thief. Jason's focus was unbreakable as he studied the intricate details of the estate's layout projected on the screen in front of him. His steely eyes flickered with a mix of excitement and determination. He had spent months meticulously planning this heist, gathering intelligence, and assembling a team of experts. A knock on the door broke his concentration. He looked up to see Emma Hawke, a master forger with a reputation for creating flawless replicas. Emma stepped into the room, her presence as commanding as her skills. Her auburn hair was tied back in a sleek ponytail, and her sharp green eyes held a glint of curiosity. "Evening, Jason. How's the plan coming along?" Emma asked, her tone both professional and casual. Jason gestured to the blueprints on the screen. "We're in the final stages. I've gone over every detail, but I need your input on the security passes. The original designs for the estate's security are flawless, but I want to ensure that our replicas are perfect." Emma approached the desk, her gaze fixated on the screen. "I've been working on the passes for weeks. We're using the latest techniques, and I've made sure they're indistinguishable from the real ones. You'll have them in hand by tomorrow." Jason nodded, satisfied. "Good. We can't afford any mistakes. The Harmond Estate's security system is state-of-the-art. One wrong move and we're done for." Emma's lips curled into a knowing smile. "Relax, Jason. We've done this before. With the team you've assembled, there's no heist we can't pull off." The door opened again, and two more figures entered. Mark "Slick" Donovan, the team's tech specialist, and Laura Kane, the expert in physical infiltration, joined them. Mark, with his wiry frame and perpetually disheveled appearance, carried a briefcase filled with various gadgets and electronic devices. Laura, with her athletic build and calm demeanor, was dressed in practical gear ready for action. "Evening, folks," Mark said, dropping the briefcase onto a nearby table. "Just finished updating the security bypass devices. This is going to be a walk in the park." Laura, her gaze scanning the blueprints, nodded in agreement. "I've reviewed the layout and mapped out the best routes for entry and exit. We should be able to get in and out without leaving a trace." Jason looked around at his team, a sense of pride swelling in his chest. Each member brought a unique set of skills that, when combined, formed an almost invincible unit. "All right, team. Tomorrow night is the big night. Here's the plan. Emma will handle the security passes. Mark will manage the tech side of things. Laura and I will focus on the physical infiltration and extraction. He paused, letting the gravity of their mission sink in. Our objective is clear. We get in, grab the artifacts, and get out. No mistakes, no heroics. This is about precision. Mark grinned, his eyes sparkling with excitement. I like the sound of that. Let's make history. Laura raised an eyebrow. What's our plan if things don't go as expected? Jason's expression was resolute. We adapt. We improvise. We succeed. Remember, the key to a heist is not just in the planning, but in how we handle the unexpected. As the team finalized the details, the storm outside intensified, casting a tempestuous atmosphere over the city. Inside the penthouse, however, the team's focus was unshakable. Each member knew their role, and they were ready for the challenge ahead. With the plan set and the team prepared, Jason leaned back in his chair, allowing himself a rare moment of relaxation. Let's do this. Tomorrow night, the Harmond estate will be ours. The clock ticked down to their audacious heist. And as the rain continued to batter the windows, the team of skilled professionals prepared to write their own legend in the annals of criminal brilliance. The perfect plan was in place, and nothing was going to stand in their way. The evening before the heist was a time of tense anticipation and final preparations. The city buzzed with its usual nightlife, oblivious to the high-stakes operation that was about to unfold. The air was crisp, and the snow began to fall again, coating the streets with a fresh layer of white. In a nondescript warehouse on the outskirts of town, Jason Blackwood and his team gathered for their final briefing. The warehouse was stark and utilitarian, with wooden crates stacked against the walls and a large table in the center covered with maps, blueprints, and equipment. Jason stood at the head of the table, his demeanor calm and focused. He glanced around at his team, who were busy checking their gear and making final adjustments. Emma Hawke was meticulously reviewing the security passes, while Mark Slick Donovan was configuring his array of electronic devices. Laura Kane was tightening her climbing harness and running through her physical entry strategies. All right, everyone, Jason began, his voice steady. This is it. Tomorrow night, we execute. I want to go over the plan one last time, so there are no surprises. Emma looked up from her work, her expression serious. The security passes are ready. I've made sure they're coded to match the original ones perfectly. I've also included a few decoy passes in case we need to throw off any unexpected checks. Excellent, Jason said, nodding in approval. Mark, how's the tech coming along? Mark looked up from his laptop, his face illuminated by the screen's glow. I've set up the signal disruptors and bypass codes. The estate's security system will be offline for the critical window. I've also got the live feed monitor ready to track any changes in the security grid. Good, Jason replied. Laura, are you prepared for the physical infiltration? Laura checked her climbing gear one last time, her eyes sharp and focused. I'm ready. I've mapped out the access points and practiced the entry routes. I'll be in and out with the artifacts before anyone even knows we're there. Jason's gaze swept over his team. Remember, precision is key. We've planned for every possible scenario, but always be prepared to adapt. Our success depends on flawless execution and quick thinking. The team members exchanged determined looks, their confidence building as they reviewed the details. The plan was meticulous, but they knew that even the best-laid plans could encounter unforeseen obstacles. As the final preparations were completed, Jason allowed himself a moment to reflect. The stakes were high, and the risks were significant, but the potential rewards made it all worth it. The Harmond estate was home to some of the most valuable and rare artifacts in the world, and pulling off this heist would cement their place in the annals of criminal brilliance. Emma approached Jason, her expression thoughtful. Are you sure about everything? We've done our part, but there's always a chance something could go wrong. Jason met her gaze with a reassuring smile. We've prepared for every possibility. If something does go wrong, we'll handle it. That's why we're the best. Mark and Laura joined the conversation, their faces reflecting the same confidence. We're ready, Jason, Mark said. We've put in the work, and we've covered all the bases. Laura added, let's get some rest. We need to be sharp and focused tomorrow night. As the team began to wind down for the evening, Jason took a moment to step outside and clear his mind. The snow continued to fall gently, blanketing the city in a serene silence. He took a deep breath, savoring the calm before the storm. In the quiet of the night, Jason couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and tension. The heist was not just about the artifacts, it was a test of their skills, their trust in each other, and their ability to navigate the unpredictable. He knew that tomorrow night would be the culmination of all their hard work, and the thought of it filled him with both anticipation and determination. Back inside, as the team settled into their rest, they each took a moment to reflect on the task ahead. They knew that their success depended on more than just their individual talents, it required trust, teamwork, and the ability to stay calm under pressure. As the clock ticked closer to midnight, the warehouse fell into a deep quiet, punctuated only by the faint sound of the wind outside. Each member of the team had their own rituals for preparing mentally for the heist, but they shared a common goal and a shared sense of purpose. Tomorrow night, they would put their plan into action and face the challenges that awaited them. The heist was a high-stakes gamble, but with their skills and preparation, they were ready to make their mark on history. The final moments of the night were filled with a palpable sense of anticipation. The team was united in their commitment, and as they prepared to embark on their audacious mission, they knew that their destiny awaited them in the shadows of the Harmond estate. The night of the heist arrived with a cloak of darkness that settled over the city. The snow continued to fall softly, muffling the sounds of the urban landscape and adding an extra layer of secrecy to their operation. The Harmond estate loomed ahead, a majestic fortress of opulence and security, standing imposingly against the winter night. Jason Blackwood and his team, dressed in dark, tactical gear, gathered in a dimly lit alleyway across the street from the estate. Their breaths misted in the cold air as they reviewed their final preparations. Each member of the team was focused and ready, their previous doubts replaced by a steely determination. Jason checked his watch and then glanced at his team. "It's time. Let's get into position." Emma Hawke held up a small case containing the counterfeit security passes and nodded. "I'll handle the gate security. I've got the passes and the access codes ready." Mark Slick Donovan, with his laptop and gadgets, set up a portable command center in the back of a van parked a few blocks away. "I'll monitor the security feeds and manage the signal disruptors. Keep me updated on any changes." Laura Kane, equipped with climbing gear and a determined look, was poised at the base of the estate's outer wall. "I'll take the high route and disable the exterior alarms. See you inside." With a final nod of agreement, the team moved into action. Emma's role. Emma approached the estate's main gate, a large, ornate structure with a high-tech security system. She moved with practiced ease, inserting a keycard into the reader and inputting the bypass codes. The gate's heavy metal panels slowly slid open, granting her access. Emma slipped inside, her heart pounding as she made her way to the next checkpoint, the security kiosk. Inside the kiosk, Emma deftly swapped out the original security footage with a looped feed of a quiet, empty parking lot. The guards on duty, lulled into complacency by the false footage, were unaware of the real activity happening just beyond their reach. Mark's role, from his vantage point in the van. Mark monitored the security feeds and kept an eye on the estate's electronic systems. His fingers danced over the keyboard as he managed the signal disruptors and ensured that their actions remained undetected. His voice crackled over the radio to Jason and Laura. "Everything's clear so far. The feed is looped, and the alarm system is temporarily offline. I'll let you know if anything changes." Laura's role. Laura, agile and precise, scaled the outer wall with the ease of a seasoned professional. She moved quickly and silently, using her tools to disable the exterior sensors. From her vantage point, she surveyed the layout of the estate grounds, noting the positions of guards and the locations of security cameras. "Jason, I'm at the top. The alarms are disabled, and I have a clear path to the skylight," Laura reported, her voice steady and calm. Jason's role. Jason, his nerves steeled for the challenge ahead, approached the mansion's side entrance, where Emma had successfully deactivated the security measures. He slipped inside, moving with purpose through the dimly lit corridors. His eyes scanned the surroundings, noting the opulence of the estate's interior, marble floors, grand chandeliers, and priceless artwork. He headed toward the central hallway where the prized artifacts were displayed, each step calculated to avoid detection. As he moved, he checked his watch and the communications from his team. "Laura, how's the skylight?" he asked through the radio. "Almost there," Laura replied. "Just need a few more minutes." Jason approached the grand hall where the most valuable items were kept. He could see the large, ornate display cases, each housing a piece of history. He carefully pulled out the tools required to disable the security systems surrounding the artifacts. The unexpected twist. As Jason was about to begin, a sudden noise echoed through the mansion, footsteps approaching from a side corridor. His heart skipped a beat. He signaled to Emma and Mark through the radio. "Someone's coming. I need a diversion." "Emma, can you create a distraction?" Emma responded swiftly. "I'll set off the motion detectors in the East Wing. It should pull the guards away from your location." A few moments later, the mansion was filled with the blaring sound of alarms and the hurried footsteps of guards rushing to investigate the disturbance. Jason seized the opportunity to continue his work, carefully disabling the alarms and unlocking the display cases. Laura, meanwhile, had reached the skylight and was preparing to descend. She slipped inside with precision, landing silently on the marble floor. The heist's climax, with the alarms silenced and the guards distracted, Jason and Laura worked together to extract the artifacts. Each piece was carefully packed into the secure containers they had brought. The team's coordination was flawless, a testament to their meticulous planning. Just as they were about to make their final exit, a new complication arose. A guard who had been on a different patrol route had discovered the tampered security feeds and was heading towards their location. "Jason, we have a problem," Mark's voice came through the radio. "A guard is heading your way. You need to move now." Jason and Laura exchanged a quick glance. They had to act fast. With the artifacts secured, they made their way towards the exit. Jason used his gadgets to temporarily disable the guard's path, creating a window of opportunity. The escape. The team regrouped outside the mansion, slipping back through the gate that Emma had opened earlier. They moved swiftly through the snow-covered streets, each member carrying a part of their loot. The city's streets were quiet, and the snow continued to fall, providing cover for their escape. Once they reached the safety of the warehouse, they exchanged relieved smiles. The heist had been executed with precision, despite the unexpected challenges. Jason looked around at his team, pride and satisfaction evident in his expression. "Excellent work, everyone. We pulled it off." As they began to unload and secure their loot, the realization of their success set in. The heist had been a test of their skills and their unity, and they had emerged victorious, with the artifacts safely in their possession and the thrill of the heist still fresh in their minds. Jason and his team knew that they had just pulled off one of the most daring operations of their careers. The city would soon buzz with the news of their audacious feat, but for now, they savored the sweet taste of success and the camaraderie forged through their remarkable heist. The dawn broke over the city, casting a pale light over the snow-covered streets. The Harmond estate, now just a distant memory of the night before, stood as a testament to the success of Jason Blackwood and his team's audacious heist. As the city slowly came to life, the team reconvened at their secret warehouse to debrief and assess their spoils. Inside the warehouse, the atmosphere was charged with a mix of triumph and tension. The artifacts, securely packed and neatly arranged, gleamed under the harsh light of the overhead bulbs. The team was gathered around a table, each member reflecting on the events of the previous night. Jason surveyed the room with a sense of accomplishment. We did it. The artifacts are here, safe and sound. But we can't afford to get complacent. We need to lay low and be prepared for any fallout. Emma Hawke, now dressed in casual clothes, but still looking sharp, was carefully examining the security passes they had used. Everything seems to have gone according to plan, but we need to make sure there are no loose ends. The security footage should be the last thing we need to clean up. Mark Slick Donovan was busy analyzing the data on his laptop, checking for any signs that their electronic interference had been detected. So far, so good. There's no indication that the security system flagged our tampering. We've managed to stay off the radar. Laura Kane, sitting cross-legged and still in her climbing gear, looked thoughtful. We should also consider the guards who were involved. If they suspect anything, they might start connecting the dots. We need to ensure that there's no trace of our presence. Jason nodded. Agreed. We'll need to monitor the news and any updates from the authorities. But first, let's take stock of what we've got. The team began to carefully unpack the artifacts, each piece more exquisite than the last. The collection included rare jewels, priceless paintings, and historical artifacts that were worth a small fortune. The sense of accomplishment was palpable as they examined their haul. Just then, the mood shifted as Mark's phone buzzed with a notification. He glanced at the screen, his expression changing from casual to concerned. We've got some news. There's been a report of a security breach at the Harmond estate. The authorities are investigating, and they've already started making inquiries. Jason's face tightened. I was expecting this. We need to act fast to cover our tracks, and make sure no one connects us to the heist. Emma quickly began organizing the paperwork and making arrangements to secure the artifacts. We should arrange for the artifacts to be moved and stored in a safe location, where they won't be easily traced back to us. Laura, ever the pragmatist, began making a list of tasks. We also need to destroy any evidence of our involvement. This includes the gear we used, our digital footprints, and any other traceable items. Jason took a deep breath and addressed his team. We've done well, but the final step is crucial. We need to ensure that we're completely out of sight, and that no evidence links us to the heist. As the team sprang into action, the warehouse became a hive of activity. Emma arranged for a secure drop-off of the artifacts to a trusted contact who would handle their storage. Mark worked on wiping any digital evidence, erasing all traces of their activities from the network. Laura and Jason took care of disposing of the equipment and disguises used during the heist. Amid the flurry of activity, Jason took a moment to reflect. The heist had been a success, but it came with its own set of challenges and risks. The thrill of the operation was accompanied by the realization that they had to be meticulous in their aftermath to ensure their safety. As evening approached, the team gathered for a brief moment of rest. Exhaustion was evident, but so was the satisfaction of a job well done. They shared a quiet meal, their conversation tinged with both relief and anticipation. Laura broke the silence with a smile. Well, it looks like we've managed to pull off one of the biggest heists of our careers. Mark raised his glass in a toast. To the team and to our success. Here's to the next adventure. Emma joined in, her eyes sparkling with mischief. To new beginnings and even bigger challenges. Jason, looking around at his team, felt a surge of pride. We've proven ourselves once again. But remember, our success is only as good as our ability to stay ahead. The game is far from over. As the team continued to wind down, Jason's mind was already racing ahead. The heist had been a triumph, but it was only a part of a larger story. The thrill of the operation, the challenges they faced, and the risks they took were all part of the grand adventure that lay ahead. With the artifacts safely secured and their tracks covered, the team knew they had achieved something remarkable. But in the world of high-stakes heists, the thrill of the chase was never far from their minds, and the promise of new adventures kept them looking toward the horizon. Weeks had passed since the audacious heist at the Harmond estate. The city had moved on, its inhabitants unaware of the shadowy figures who had slipped through its grasp. For Jason Blackwood and his team, the days following the heist were a mixture of relief and anticipation. The artifacts had been securely stored, their tracks covered, and the team had kept a low profile, waiting for the right moment to celebrate their success. One evening, as a quiet snow fell over the city, Jason sat alone in a secluded corner of a high-end lounge. The place was upscale, with dim lighting and soft jazz playing in the background. Jason had arranged for a private meeting with his team to review their success and plan their next moves. Emma Hawke arrived first, her demeanor casual, but her eyes sharp with curiosity. She greeted Jason with a nod before taking a seat. "So, what's the occasion? I thought we were laying low." Jason smiled, a glint of mischief in his eyes. "There's something I want to show you. It's a little twist to our heist that you might find interesting." Mark Slick Donovan and Laura Kane joined them shortly, both looking intrigued. They settled into their seats, their expressions reflecting a mix of anticipation and caution. Jason leaned forward, pulling out a folder from his briefcase. "You remember how we were meticulous about covering our tracks? Well, I've been keeping an eye on the aftermath. There's something you need to see." He opened the folder, revealing a series of documents and photographs. The images showed not just the artifacts, but also snippets of news reports and official statements. Jason pointed to a particular document, a letter from the Harmond Estates Board of Directors. "This is what I found," Jason said. "Apparently, the estate's owner, Charles Harmond, has made a startling announcement." Emma's eyes widened as she read the letter. "They are not just acknowledging the theft, they are offering a reward for information leading to the recovery of the artifacts." Mark raised an eyebrow. "Wait, so they're turning this into a public spectacle? That's risky." Laura shook her head. "Why would they do that?" "It seems like they're trying to draw attention to the heist." Jason's smile grew. "Exactly. And it's not just about recovery. There's more to it. Harmon's board has hired a private investigator, one of the best in the field. Emma frowned. And what does that mean for us? Jason's expression turned serious. It means we need to stay one step ahead. The investigator is known for being exceptionally skilled and has a reputation for solving cases that others can't. We'll have to be cautious. Mark chuckled, a hint of excitement in his voice. Sounds like we have a new game to play. Jason nodded. But it's not just about staying hidden. There's a twist I haven't mentioned. While we were busy covering our tracks, I discovered something unusual about one of the artifacts we took. He pulled out a photograph of a small, intricately carved box that had been part of the haul. This box isn't just a valuable artifact. It contains something that wasn't listed in the estate's inventory. I believe it's a key to a hidden vault. Laura's eyes lit up with curiosity. A hidden vault. What's inside it? Jason's smile was enigmatic. That's the question we need to answer. I think the vault holds something even more valuable than what we already have. But to find out, we need to act carefully and strategically. The team exchanged excited glances, the thrill of the chase reigniting their enthusiasm. With a new objective in mind, they began to discuss their next steps, their focus shifting from merely evading capture to uncovering the secrets of the hidden vault. The final plan. The team regrouped at their temporary safe house, a new, discreet location where they could plan their next move. Jason laid out the details of their new plan, emphasizing the importance of discretion and careful execution. We'll need to return to the Harmond estate, discreetly, and locate the hidden vault, Jason explained. We must avoid detection and gather as much information as possible about the vault's location and contents. Emma, ever the strategist, suggested a detailed approach. We can use the information we have about the estate's layout to our advantage. I'll start by researching historical records and archives related to the estate. Mark began working on bypassing the estate's updated security systems, while Laura prepared for the physical aspects of the operation. The team's synergy was palpable as they delved into their new mission, each member bringing their expertise to the forefront. The final twist. A few nights later, the team once again approached the Harmond estate, this time with a refined plan and heightened caution. Their goal was not only to uncover the hidden vault, but also to ensure they remained undetected by the private investigator, who was now actively pursuing leads. Using their combined skills, they infiltrated the estate with precision. Emma's research had led them to a concealed passage that had once been used for secret deliveries. The team navigated the passage and discovered a hidden door. Inside the vault, they found not just valuable artifacts, but also a collection of rare documents and treasures that had been long forgotten. The vault's contents exceeded their expectations, revealing a treasure trove of historical significance and immense value. As they examined their findings, Jason couldn't help but reflect on the journey that had led them to this moment. The heist had been a triumph, but it had also opened doors to new adventures and mysteries. The team returned to their safe house, their spirits high and their sense of accomplishment deep. They had not only pulled off a successful heist, but had also uncovered secrets that would set the stage for future endeavors. Jason looked around at his team, a satisfied smile on his face. We've achieved more than we set out to. The heist was just the beginning. Now, we have new discoveries and challenges ahead. Emma, Mark, and Laura nodded in agreement, their faces reflecting a mix of excitement and determination. The adventure had taken an unexpected turn, and the promise of new mysteries and opportunities lay ahead. As the team prepared to move forward, they knew that the world of high-stakes heists and hidden treasures was vast and full of possibilities. Their journey was far from over, and the thrill of the chase would continue to drive them forward, with their latest triumph behind them and new horizons ahead. Jason and his team embraced the future with confidence, ready to face whatever challenges and adventures awaited them. Thank you for subscribing to our channel. You are awesome.